Welcome back to our show.
Welcome back. So we were just reviewing, with our new agency here in Williamsville, we need insurance ourselves. So as licensed agents, we have a policy which is for a lot of professionals, a lot of different professions, called E&O. Commonly, it's called E&O. It's errors and omission. So let's say I'm here late at night, which never happens. I take my afternoon nap and then I take a long walk and then watch TV. I'm kidding. Yeah, sometimes I work late. But let's just say that I'm so tired and distracted, and it's a Friday and I'm trying to get out of here. And let's say a customer stops by with a premium check and they say, "Oh, hey, Rob, would you I want to mail it, but it's due today. Would you mind depositing that?" And we'll do that for folks. We prefer you call ahead, but we'll do that. So let's say I do that. And let's say I'm looking at the clock and it's getting late. Oh, let's say I fail to go and log in the deposit. The check's safe, but I forgot to enter the details in the system to show that she or he paid. And let's say that customer gets into an accident and it's an auto policy, for example. Well, she did the right thing,
But you didn't.
but I didn't. That's an error. Now, luckily, carriers actually deal with this often enough that they actually wouldn't stop them from getting their claim paid. Okay, the fact that the check stated they prove it. Obviously, we could prove that we had it in time. They would honor it. There'd be no question about honoring whatever the claim is. However, if I did something even more foolish, like I accidentally, I don't know, shredded the check or something. I don't know, something where it never got applied, and I just let it sit too long or something like that. Just
Right.
never happened, folks. But I'm just going through a scenario. If I was then found liable for causing a problem that the carrier uh, shouldn't have had to deal with because of my error as a professional, as an agent, then that's what the policy is there for. Especially if the customer's so upset that they want to sue me or the carrier over
Right.
whatever the issue is. So I'm putting myself out there as an example of like, I've never had these problems, but that's a scenario that could exist. Another profession that needs it would be like realtors. You are out there, think about it, you're out there with keys to someone's home.
Oh,
That's a very high value.
yeah.
uh,
What do you think of that?
you might be holding a piece of metal that costs $4 at Home Depot to make, but you have access to something worth hundreds of thousands, if not more, of property. And if you do something as a realtor that causes a problem, damage to a property or what have you, or an economic problem, maybe the contract you negotiated wasn't as clear as it should have been, and the customer on one side of the deal thought that you made an error and they want to litigate or just complain about you somewhere, to a state agency, for example, because of your profession, you're entrusted with doing things as a certain standard. You have to carry E&O insurance in case
Right.
something like that happens. Another obvious one would be medical, same reason. So there's medical malpractice, typically doctors, nurses, people who are actually hands-on, literally with care, but anyone in healthcare, any number of even folks who are like a traveling nurse, for example, someone might be a caretaker or transportation of people in healthcare. There's a long list of healthcare professionals, and most of them have to carry E&O.
Right.
So why are we talking about this? Well, we offer that. We need it ourselves. I obviously don't overpay for things, so our clients are going to get the same treatment. Obviously, we're going to find the best one that fits you and your profession. And even if you don't need one, now that you know about this topic, you probably just thought in your head about several people in your life that must have E&O insurance, right? Your realtor, maybe you're some insurance agent I also have a practice in financial advisory. That's a separate policy.
Oh,
So
okay.
financial advisors, realtors, medical folks, and insurance agents, there's a long list. And if you give us a call, the good news is these are such standardized policies now that we can pretty much, I mean, I typically take maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I can pretty much ask all the questions that are relevant to making sure I have the best quotes and the best carriers and the coverage for whatever you, as a self-employed individual, as a 1099 contractor, or as an employee. You're going to have some criteria somewhere in your profession that says you have to have a certain dollar amount of coverage. It's typically $1 million. It seems to be like the standard now. Don't know why. I think every so often the industry just kind of says this is what the level is. That's pretty standard. Some are higher than that. But I assure you, 15, maybe 20 minutes worth of your time, we'd be able to present to you the best programs that fit for you and set you up on auto pay, do any discounts we can apply. And then hopefully you set it and forget it. That's the one type of insurance policy that really, once you're set, hopefully you should have no events where that comes up. But if it does, you at least know you have the coverage in place to protect yourself.
Right.
And those are the ones I typically tell people to auto renew because it's I mean, I've had this for 12, 13 years. Because I help people with it, it's on my mind. But otherwise, I would never think about
You
it.
ever forget
I
about
would
it?
never, it would never even cross my mind.
Yeah.
So if you miss the renewal and then you have an event, oh, you're gonna kick yourself. So definitely give us a call, share this video with someone in your life that you think might have it already, might need it, might want to compare, see if we can do a better price, better coverage. And of course, there are details about your profession and your practice specific to you, right? How many customers you have, patients maybe, what your experience level is. There are some things that do factor into the premium cost. And obviously, my due diligence is to make sure I'm looking for the cheapest quote. So,
Yeah.
yeah, give us a call, share this with your network, and we're happy to see what we can do.
See you later.
Catch you on the next one.